Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. My name is Gabriella for anybody new tuning in. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So I'm seeing you trying to figure out like what this is that you want to be like going after, what this is that you want to be focusing on, and it can be a matter of like creativity. What do you want to be nurturing into existence? And I'm seeing something that you're trying to figure out, and in a space where you're like, well, I don't want to be impulsive, and I also want to be like true to my passions and what I feel is really calling me. So how do we find the space in between the two where this isn't impulsive and it's also you honoring what it is that you're feeling and trusting that and believing in that, whatever this is that wants to be birthed, created through you. Number one, filtering information is going to help you make decisions that you feel like you are teetering between. If there are decisions that you need to make, use what you have to make those choices and then carry on with it. You don't want to get so stuck in a space where you're in between, like, I don't know if I should go this way, I don't know if I should go that way, and then you're just staying there and not finishing the rest of the journey, right? You don't want to get stuck in that space because there's so much more than just what that decision is. And if you're in a spot where there's a choice to be made and you are not getting like a clear like this way or that way, then either way it may not impact what it is that you're doing so much. And so just pick something and keep going with it. Keep moving. You don't need to spend more time doing it, is what I'm getting. And make the decision to go after whatever this is that you are taking a chance on. Have hope, have faith with this choice that you're making. And also do so in a way where, again, you are using your discernment. This is not just about like foolishly going on a whim and not thinking about the consequences. This is about you like really heeding the intuitive messages that you are getting, understanding that using your discernment, filtering information is important, and also like mixing all of that with a sense of like hope and faith for what this is, because it may be a little bit of a risk that you are taking, but it is something that like you believe in this. So it's about leaping into this new space for you, taking a chance, new territory that you're stepping into, and allowing the sun to touch your face. You may feel a bit, I'm hearing withdrawn. You may feel a little bit reticent about making this choice only because it is a bit of a risk, even creatively, that you are taking. But I'm seeing that it's going to be worth it to you because this feels authentic to you. This feels original to you. You may feel like a little bit of an oddball for it with the Fool here, because the Fool is like, you know what, everybody else is wearing brown slacks and I feel like wearing an orange tutu, and so that's what I'm gonna show up in. Like, that's what it is with the Fool. It's just doing what feels right to you, regardless of like who else you're seeing doing that too. And maybe you haven't seen anybody else do this before. But it's not about following a mold. It's about like following like what feels true to you and exploring that, and being able to, because you are doing that, being able to also explore your potential as well. Because if we limit ourselves to like only repeating what we've been seeing, we are like minimizing our potential so absolutely to only what we've observed. And there's nothing groundbreaking about that. And the thing is that, like, the point isn't even to be groundbreaking. The point is to just be true to yourself. I'm also hearing to your calling. Even if this feels new, even if there's a learning curve, even if you like lack maybe experience within this. It's about trusting yourself and trusting where you're being guided. Taking a step in a direction that is calling out to you, answering that call. Not everybody's going to agree with this. Not everybody's going to understand. It seems like that's the test. This may be a controversial choice that you're making. This may be one where like other people are going to be like, hey, I think this, hey, I think that, or it could even be a competitive situation that you're going into. But more than anything, the Five of Wands speaks about a sense of conflict, and even though it can be external conflict, it is always reflective internally of some sort of conflict, something that we're working through. And it seems like it's about like whether or not we are going to hop on this train and see where it takes you. It feels like it's committing to the journey. Are you going to commit to the journey, or are you going to play it safe? Are you looking for more satisfaction and more fulfillment? Or are you just looking for safety? Where maybe like even symbolically you have something that symbolizes safety to you, but spiritually there's a feeling of, I'm hearing null, feeling like there's a lack of substance. I'm hearing, so what means more to you? The Ace of Cups means more to you. When the Eight of Cups leaves the situation, it is because they feel like this thing that I'm walking away from, it no longer has like anything for me here, or I'm just going to be digging myself further into this hole. I saw 744 on the time. If you look up the angel number of that, it can give you more insight as to what this is alluding to. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from something and recognizing like my journey does not end here. I'm meant to continue from here, even if that means leaving behind like what this is that I was doing, what it is that I was working on, because I know that I can leave it like this and there's more for me to do here. And I'm seeing you walk towards the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can be exploring gifts, abilities, connection, your connection with yourself, your connection with your physical world, with the astral realm, with your guides, with spirit, moving into a place where you feel like this is tapping into a part of yourself that goes beyond just your physical connections, your energetic connections that you are tapping into. Which also means accessing different parts of yourself that you may not have known were there. I'm seeing stuff going on with, like, intuitively you being guided to access, to exercise certain pieces of yourself. I'm seeing your intuition be the guidebook for this, like, based off of going off of feeling. It reminds me of those tools when you want to test out an electric connection. It's like that little pen that has the light on the end, and when you touch it to see if a wire is live, it's like that. Whatever it is that you are connecting with, like wherever you feel the strongest pull energetically, the strongest connection, going in that direction and knowing that's where you're being led. Whatever lights you up, whatever you feel unity with, feeling like you found the pole that you are connecting with, magnet-wise. Now is the time to get into a space where you are maybe coming to terms with all of the changes that are going to be happening, all of the growing, all of the shedding. Committing to the flow of the process rather than the consistency of it, which has been a theme that's been coming through. I'm seeing like the death card come through, the Scorpio energy, which all of us have in our charts. Scorpio energy coming through to like even offer you something, but it is something that is going to end up being part of your foundation for you, and this also invites you to create and to make changes. See, with the Scorpio energy, it's like Scorpio is coming through to offer you something. Can also be an actual Scorpio as well. This is going to be a part of a change for you. It is going to be switching things up. It is going to allow you the space you need to grow and develop. I'm even seeing, interesting, I'm seeing a pie here. I'm actually seeing an Oreo pie, and I'm seeing like the Scorpio energy kind of be the crust that is being laid down here, where the filling is going to go on top of it. You're gonna have to let go. Even if you feel in your head about it, it is normal to feel anxious about changes, to feel scared, to like question, can I do this? Can I not do it? All of that stuff. Don't allow that to hinder what you are willing into fruition. Because at the end of the day, you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. That is something that you are experiencing. It's something that you're observing, and you always have the final say of what happens. So this is about taking into consideration your experience that you're having, like on a human level within your body, the thoughts, the emotions, all of that. And then also recognizing there's this part of me that is behind that doesn't necessarily need to be affected by those things when it comes to the choice that I'm making. It's the part of you that's behind all of that, the part of you that's observing. Because for the most part, there's not just something that you can like switch into. Some people, but like commonly, for the most part, you can't really change having the experience that you're going to have, but you do get to decide what you do with that and how much you allow it to affect you and the choices that you make. It's the difference between a person that is about to do something and feels scared and is like, oh, because I'm scared, I'm just going to walk in the opposite direction and not do that, versus the person that's about to do something and feels scared and is like, I'm feeling scared and I'm going to do this anyway because I want to. And that's the choice that you have. Like, will you take the offer from the death card to go through this change and to be moving in a direction where you feel truly connected with it, where you feel like it is a part of you that you are extending out to reach? Does it speak to you enough to want to respond back to it? Or do you want to let the passion die there? It seems too like some of you may be turning away some form of stability that may actually not resonate with you and rather go towards something that you feel passionately about. Because there may be something that is like wanting to connect with you that you don't feel passionately about. And then there's this other thing on the other side of it that you may actually feel very connected with, that you feel like you're seen in that space because of how strongly you connect with this, because of how deeply you connect with this, because of how much you resonate with this. And you know that because it is in flow with you. And naturally, there is a naturally occurring connection. I'm seeing it be like this as well. Know too that like if you are denying yourself like the changes in the movement and the flow, if you are not getting into movement with that, it means that you are also not getting on board with following the train of your passions and seeing where that takes you to. Because every choice that you make, like whatever it is that you pull towards you, you are pushing away the opposite in equal force, and vice versa. Anything that you push away, you are pulling towards you the opposite in equal force. So where you welcome change, you allow for expansion and growth. Or if you welcome staying the same, there can be a sense of stagnancy. Doing what you're familiar with. Oh, we've been doing this for X amount of years, so that's just what we do. That's what we've grown accustomed to. Do you want to keep yourself in a box doing what you feel familiar with, or do you want to align with the movement? We can change or we can stay in what's familiar to us. There's something here about feeling kind of overwhelmed or feeling stressed out about something, and your guides are telling you to move through this patiently and to transmute the energy. This is absolutely something that you are able to handle. If you feel overwhelmed, do things in increments rather than all at the same time. Don't overwhelm yourself, because you may be putting so much pressure on yourself, like I have to do this and that thing over there. The more you take your time with it, rather than being like, I have to get this done by this time and that time and all of that, it just seems like a lot of pressure that you are putting on yourself individually that you're responsible for. Also too, if you are in a space where you are comparing whatever this is that you're doing to other people, it may also be adding to the stress. The only thing that I'm seeing be beneficial for you as far as looking outside of yourself, if that's what you're doing in relation to this thing that feels stressed out, what I'm seeing be beneficial to you is that if you have seen other people be in this spot, seeing the way that they've handled things when they've had the same like issues, look to other people to model as problem solvers. If you are looking to them as anything else, it may be increasing the sense of tension and stress that you are feeling. Also, if you decide not to look around you and you decide to just go within, know too that all of the answers you're looking for will be there as well. You don't need outside sources. Just maybe putting like constraints on yourself because of, I don't know, some sort of like unnatural, even socializing pressure that you're putting on yourself. So take your time. Don't rush through the process. Allow it to happen as it does, and surrender to the divine timing. Focus on the task at hand. Because you're going to be getting exactly where you want to be going with this Ten of Pentacles. Whatever goal this is that you have, there is a sense of achievement once you learn how to work this. Work through the process of this. This is about honoring the process. I'm also seeing this be something that your guides and spirit are helping you out with as well. Like, I'm seeing this be a goal that spirit and your guides are definitely encouraging you towards. This is absolutely something in alignment. It's something that's in flow. And it is something that you will be achieving as well. Seeing all of the markers for that, whatever this is that you're doing. It's like karmically, fate-wise, this is being supported. It's being supported by your guides. The more like patiently you work through this, transmuting the energy, focusing on the process, this is something that you're going to be achieving, accomplishing. If you feel like things are changing too quickly and you start feeling ungrounded, you have to pause everything and go back to grounding. It's not going to be so cut and dry, like you get on this roller coaster over there and it's going to take you to that place, and then you hop over to the conjunction is what I'm hearing. You have to go through this in a place where you are still staying connected to like your body and physically what's going on, mentally what's going on, keeping track of where your mind is going, all of that stuff. If you feel like the changes are happening in a way where it just feels like too much and you start feeling ungrounded, you have to pull back. Because I'm seeing something about feeling like something is crushing you and needing to then make a decision to get out from under that, to ground yourself and then go back at a pace that you feel comfortable with. And recognize too, if something feels like it's too much, we need to make a choice about that. We need to make a decision about that. I'm seeing something about an offer coming in that you have been like waiting for, that you have been anticipating. And the notion is for you to keep holding the vision. Because if something is coming through and it is not resonating with you, if you are taking that, you're also pushing away the thing that you really want. So this is about keeping in mind like the bigger itinerary of the goal here, and accepting and participating in things within your life that you truly do feel connected with, that truly do inspire and motivate you, rather than not using your discernment and just like taking anything that comes. This is about like really thinking about that, because I'm seeing it like bringing you closer and closer. I'm seeing something that as you walk towards this passion in the direction of this thing that is like inspiring to you, this thing that is drawing you, speaking to you, I'm seeing you getting connected with spirit. And I'm also seeing you access an ability that you have, something intrinsically that is coming from you that you're like, this makes so much sense for me to be doing this. I've been like drawn to this my whole life. It's like even something subtly that you get connected with and something just clicks and it makes so much sense, and you're also in a space where you're like, of course I'm supposed to use my abilities to be doing this. And I'm seeing this really feel like a victory for you, because like even for some of you, for the first time, you sit in this space and you're like, I feel like this is exactly where I belong. There's this sense of coming home to this, to connecting with this purpose, passion, what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're able to do. It is like the opposite of imposter syndrome, because you are in total and complete alignment and your soul can feel that and it validates and confirms that for you. For some of you, you may be going back to things that you explored within childhood, things that you were drawn to. Kind of like before you were told what you were going to be, what was it that naturally you felt drawn to? What interested you? What did you do for fun? What has made the most sense for you to be connected with? I'm hearing from the time before last, For some of you, you're even tapping into past life skills, a collection of skills. I'm seeing stuff about past lives. I'm seeing stuff about like what you have carried over within this incarnation, what you are meant to be adding on to now work-wise. Because I'm seeing like things that you had accomplished in the past, and now it's like hopping back into connecting with that to do more work in that sector, whatever this is for you. Something that you still feel like you have to give. And it's about giving generously as well. This is going to take some time as well to wrap your head around. However, when you get to a place where you are in flow and harmony with this, it's going to be undeniable, and that's how you're going to know. 26:33 on the time. So I'm looking at Uranus, Scorpio, Sag, and Taurus. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I am wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.